Hi, I'm Bill Snodgrass, and in this video, this is going to be a photography, videography, audiography, and a life lesson all in one video. And if you don't think I can do that, stick around and watch what happens. We're talking about background. We're talking about the background. What is background? What do you do about background in order to have like high quality video slash photographs slash audio recordings? So here we go, background. Background is this stuff back here. Background is the stuff that is behind you. And how's this going to be a life lesson? You better stick around for that. That'll come at the end. So the background is the things behind the subject. Now in audio, the subject is whatever it is you're trying to record. Now there's two things that background can do. In a photograph, in an audio recording, in a video. Background can add context and interest. Think of like Casey Neistat's background is very interesting. A lot of stuff going on back there is very interesting. Or background can be distracting. And if you don't really think about what you're doing with your background, it's very, very possible, you know, you've got like, I had a cord hanging over here the other day in a video, I had a cord hanging down. That's probably not adding context or interest. It probably is distracting. You need to think about what is in your background, and is it adding interest and context to your photograph, or is it distracting away from the subject of your photograph? What is the background of your video? Is it adding interest or context? And I think, now here's the thing about my background. There's a limit to how much you can control the background. When we get to audio, we're going to talk about that. This is going to be a big point in the audio. There's a limit to how much you can control your background. So you have to work with the background you have sometimes and try to make it as context giving or as interesting as possible. So I've kind of arranged my stacks of books so that there's a variety of different topics and things showing. And I don't know, probably some of you never even noticed I had books, and now you're going to be like, what's on the spine? Does it add interest or context? Now if you can't completely control the background, then you have to work with what you have. Now let's talk about that in audio. Background in audio would be the birds in the park, the ducks. I shot some videos, I've shot quite a few videos sitting in the park, and sometimes you'll hear birds in the background. Sometimes you'll hear the birds, and that adds context. I don't always, I gotta B-roll that. That background noise. There's a fountain in one of the parks where I go to, and sometimes if that fountain is in the back of the shot, having sounds of that fountain adds context and interest to the shot. On the other hand, a real windy day, the wind blowing into the microphone, that's a background noise that does not add interest or context. Now let's talk about in a life lesson, what's in the background? Let's say the subject of your life is your priority list, and there's this depth of, so your first priority is this, and then, you know, I don't know, family and job and whatever, and it goes back. And then you've got yard work, and then you've got, you know, Fortnite, and then schoolwork's in there somewhere, and you've got like Candy Crush Saga. I don't know, does anybody still play that or not? This is all background. Does the background in your life add interest and context? Would you be a less interesting person if you eliminated some of those background pieces? Or are those background pieces distracting your life from those foreground subjects? That's an interesting question. So, life lesson. What's in your background? What's in your background? Does it add interest or context? Can you get rid of it? Should you keep it in? Those are questions you have to ask yourself when you're composing a photograph, when you're setting up your shot for your video, when you're recording audio, and when you're planning your life. What's in the background? If you can't control the background, you have to do the most you can with the background you have in order to make it fit into an interesting context-giving role. That's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please click the like button, subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment, questions, I'd have to say notifications. Share this video with someone else. Yeah. See you in the next episode.